So lads, point guards in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM, maybe the most important position in the game. Some god tier cards like Russell Westbrook, Derrick Rose, Stephen Curry, and most recently Donovan Mitchell play this position. So in this video we are going to be ranking every player that can play this position, all the good ones anyway, from S tier all the way down to a void. S tier is going to be the best 5. Great are guys that I would strongly suggest you guys using if they fit your budget. Good is they're pretty good. You're not gonna like pretty much lose a game if you have them in your squad. There's usable, which means maybe use them offline, or beware that they're not going to be great. And then avoid is avoid at all costs for any game mode. There's no reason unless you're doing XP to use these guys. But anyway, now let's get on to the list. So first player on this list is in fact BJ Armstrong, and I'm gonna put BJ Armstrong like he's okay. Like he's okay. Like he's fine as a player. Like if you look at BJ Armstrong's stats, he's got like a 90 speed, which is good. He's at 90 acceleration, 89 3 ball, no dunk, comes with a half midi magician. Didn't really get too much out of that from what I've seen anyway. Wasn't really able to get too much out of his like half midi magician when I played with him. He has 99 hands, which I don't know what it does, but he does have unpluckable in Hall of Fame. I think he's fine. Don't get me wrong, like I think he is a perfectly fine card to use. I think in general, I think that he's probably in the good tier. If you want to put him down in usable, I'm cool with that. I'm gonna put him in usable for now. But one player that is most definitely above usable is Donovan Mitchell. Now this guy right here, I'm telling yous, if you are missing out. You guys are missing out if you say, you know what, you're not doing this. Find a way to get the steals. You will not regret it. Trust me, you will not regret it if you get this card. Donovan Mitchell, he's got 93 speed, 93 acceleration. He also has got the Mitchell leaner, which is incredible. Ja dribble style. He's got his own release, which is really good. His own size up. As well as that, you're looking at like 88 perimeter defense, 90 lateral quickness, 90 driving dunk, 93 speed with ball. We're looking at an absolute freaking demon right here. Off quick first step. Honestly, like I think this is not a crazy statement to make that the best player on this entire tier list is Donovan Mitchell. I don't actually think that it's a crazy statement to say that Donovan Mitchell is in fact the best player, best point guard in this game. And I think he's better than Rose. And I'm not sure what tier I'm going to have Rose in. Probably S, but Mitchell's better. Then we got Bibby. Now Bibby's the domination reward. Bibby comes with 3 halves. The 3 halves are mini magician, which is alright. Floor general, unpluckable. He's got a really good 3 ball, 89 speed, good defense. Can't dunk the ball. Like, animations, Dragic release, it's not great now. Morant dribble stats should be pretty good. His size up's not great. Look, I've played against him once and he was awful. I've never used the guy. I've used my Bibby and shoot around before the game came out, trying to see whether or not he was going to be a good card, and he was poor. So I think putting him, I'm going to put him in the same tier. I'll put him in good. I'll put him in good tier. I think that's probably the best spot for Mike Bibby. I think he belongs in that good tier. I don't think putting him in great. I don't think putting him in usables probably does him justice. Then we got Rozier. So he's 6'1", but he's got a long wingspan. He's just chick. Like he's got the Kerr Rozier base, decent jump shot. Like he's a really nice card. Plays no defense whatsoever, even with the boost. He plays no defense. Sure, he's got mismatch expert and stuff. He's just a really good shooter. Sapphire Terry Rozier, he's a really good shooter, and he is super, super easy to get. So for me, Terry Rozier, I'm actually going to crazily enough put Terry Rozier in great for the reason of like, he's probably lower end of great, but he's a lot better than Bibby. Next up's Ja Evo, and I would strongly suggest going for shooting on him because he gets a lot of good badges. Like again, he comes to silver, leads his leads. He's got like 86 speed, 86 acceleration. His driving dunk is really good of 85. His defense is okay. It's passable. Obviously, he's a much better defender with defensive boost, but his shooting is down quite a lot. If you're really good at greening and you give him shooting, you give him defense, he gets no shooting badges. Sure, he gets a lot of decent defense badges, but like a lot of them are only on silver. His steal perimeter defense goes up. Honestly, actually, there's no wrong thing with Ja. I prefer shooting. But it doesn't matter whether you go shooting or you go defense. He's still going to be an absolutely elite player either way. And Ja is going to go into great tier. Above Terry Rozier, still for me one of the best point guards in this entire game. I think Ja is ridiculous. And I actually think Ja is better than this next guy in Allen Iverson. I've used Iverson. He's okay. He's fine. 91 3 ball, 97 speed, 97 acceleration. Like, really good stats wise. I'm actually going to move Terry Rozier down. Probably down a tier. But again, like, help defense. Defense stats are fine, but he's not going to be the greatest defender. Good playmaking badges. He still kind of feels sluggish. His release feels slow for Iverson. He doesn't move as fast as a Rose. Definitely doesn't move as fast as a Rose or a Westbrook. So I'm going to move Terry Rozier down. I'm actually going to move him down as well. I'm going to move... No, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to move Iverson up into great tier. I actually think Ja's better. Like, as crazy as it seems, like, I think Ja is better, honestly. Then we got Alan Level. He's a non-shooting, non-anything point guard in this game who is an Emerald, so he made the list. First player going into the avoid tier is Alan Level. Then we have got, like, this dude, this next dude is really good. It's Jennings. 93 point, 95 speed, 95 acceleration. He's got good dunk. He's got Hall of Fame lids. He's got like MIDI magician, space creator, silver range, hyperdrive, killer combos, post playmaker. Isn't going to play much defense. He's going to play a similar level defense to Iverson, but he's got Patty Mills on quick, which is one of the best releases in this game, lads. Trust me on that. It's one of the best releases in this game. So Patty Mills on quick is a really good thing for him. And I'm going to put him in S. I'm probably going to have 5 players in S tier, and I think he cracks my top 5. I actually do. He may get moved down. He's going to get moved down, but I really like him. He's the very top in great, because I do think that he is the 6th best point guard in the game. I'm going to say that he is the 6th best point guard in this game. Chauncey Billups is our next player. Chauncey Billups, 6'3", 6'6" wingspan. Good speed, good 3-ball, but his release is terrible, so he'll only hit when he's wide open. He's actually a pretty good dribbler, got some good defensive badges. Chauncey's fine. Like, if you're stuck with Chauncey, whether you get him in a draft or something, Chauncey's fine. He's in that usable tier. He's a similar level to a BJ Armstrong. Like, Chauncey is a perfectly fine card. I don't think he's great, but he's perfectly fine. CP3, on the other hand, a little bit undersized, not going to be the greatest defender. Does have 3 hot zones outside of 3, not particularly fast. Dribble style is really good. Motion style, which is defensive stance, is pretty good. He has his own leaner, which from my experience is not great. He's also got a good defensive stats, can't dunk the ball. I think I'm going to put CP3 in that same tier, and you might be saying he should be a tier higher, but like usable and good, I think I'm going to put him in usable. He's a little bit small. He's going to go into there, to be honest. I think he's fine. Then we've got CJ McCollum. So CJ McCollum is a shooter. He's at his own release on quick. He's got a good release. His dribbling's fine. Got a lot of shooting badges. Will play no defense, and is not particularly fast, but he'll shoot the ball. So for that reason, I'm going to put him in usable again. He's just very, very weak on defense, but he is more than a usable player in game. Next, we got Cuttino Mobley. And Cuttino Mobley is 6'4", so he's big. As far as point guards go, he's one of the biggest. He's got an 84 3-ball, good speed. Defense is serviceable. And at this stage of the game, he's also got, again, a bit of a size. And his release is really, really nice. Default small. And I don't, like, whatever. He's the only player in the game with this upper. But it's just, it looks like the same release as other cards. Even though he's like the one of the few players with default small in this game that I'm like, actually feels like a decent shooter. But he is absolutely chicken. Upper matters a lot in this year, and I'm going to put him in the good tier. He's definitely not into the great tier. He's most definitely does not belong in great tier. But he belongs without question in the good tier. Now we've got an interesting one. So I'm kind of indifferent on this card. It's Dame Lillard. So Dame obviously comes with things like silver, limitless range off rip, 83 speed. He's got a decent handle, good release on quick, good driving dunk. Like, he should be one of the best, like, point guards in his game, but there's just something I don't like about Dame. I've tried using Dame. I have not had success. He doesn't offer anything on defense, and offensively, he doesn't offer what a lot of the other non-defensive players offer. Like, I think I'm still going to put him in that good tier. I think Dame still belongs in that good tier, but he is kind of on that lower end of the good point guard tier. Now, this next guy has the opposite effect. Darius Garland. Now this guy, I don't know what it is. He's a Garland on quick, Trae Young dribble style. Garland never misses. Like 82 3 ball, like bronze limitless, bronze leads, bronze or like 85 speed, 85 acceleration, no defense whatsoever. Doesn't dunk, but for me, Garland is better than Dame. So I'm gonna like rate these in their tiers, and I would actually I probably would go like this for this tier. For this tier, I would stay as is. For this tier, I go like that. No, I'd stay as is. But yeah, like Garland just plays way, way better than he should. And then next is a guy that always cooks me was the AI. So I tried him and he was not very good. De'Aaron 73 ball. The AI will never miss. He's fast-ish. He's got like clamp breaker and quick first step. But like, if this game was only token players, sure, he'd be fine. He would be completely fine if this game was based only on token players. But it's not. So he's not. De'Aaron is he's probably going to be the poster of best of avoid. Like, there are a lot of players that I would definitely say, like, he's either usable or avoid, and I'm going to put him in avoid. DeJounte can kind of shoot. DeJounte plays good defense, though, and he's big. He is a big, tall point guard who's actually got a pretty good dunk. You can use him in that two-man role. He can kind of dribble. You can just use him as a screener, and if you surround him with shooters, he can be quite good. He's a more than usable player. There are certain situations that make him very nice. I'm gonna put him in. I'm actually gonna probably put him top of usable because there are certain ways you can exploit. No, I'm gonna put him bottom of good. No, he's better than Bibby. But there are certain ways that you can use DeJounte and he can just exploit the other team. If you're not using him in those ways, he might actually be down there in worthless. But I think there's certain ways of playing with DeJounte where it's really, really nice. Then we've got Derrick Rose. Now, Rose's release is chick. His Trae Young base is really, really good. His Trae Young dribble style is really, really good. His like left riding is good. He can burn by people. He's the best dunker I've used in the game. Quick first step, clamp breaker, and hyperdrive. The best player in transition in this game. Derrick Rose, no question about it. No question about it. Derrick Rose is going into top tier. Next, we got Freddie VanVleet, and I used him because of his duo. I got him. He's not very good. He's not a great defender. He's like only comes with 6 total badges, which is not great. Not the fastest, not a dunker, not the greatest shooter in the world. His release is only fine this year. It's not Giannis based like other years. Fred VanVleet, I'm sorry, he's small. He's going into avoid. Avoid Fred VanVleet at all costs. Now this one's kind of a weird one because it's like Ja Morant. You could just say avoid at all costs because he's a starter card. But if you don't want a starter card and you have the tokens, he's got no defense. He's gonna play better defense than the shooting Ja. He's gonna play somewhere in between the two Jazz, but also at that rate not as good as either of the Jazz. But he's still Ja, so he's still gonna go into good tier. Probably above Dame. Above Dame. You know what? He's probably the best player in good tier. I really like Ja Morant. He's a really, really nice card. Then we have Jeremy Lin. So Jeremy Lin has got like 89 3-ball, 92 speed. His release is fine. That Jaden Springer release is good. He's got Ja base. Jeremy Lin, he's his own size up. The only issue is, again, he's just not going to dunk like some of your guys, but he's going to dunk pretty well. No quick first step on anything above bronze. No clamp breaker at all. Doesn't allow him to rim run as well. He's like a watered down version of Rose and Westbrook. He's not as good as either of them. He's a watered down version. He's definitely better than Ja, but he's also not as good as Jennings. So he's going into the great tier. I cannot put him any higher than that because, well, that's where he belongs. Then we've got Johnny Davis, who is a 6'2" point guard with a 6'6" wingspan. Can kind of shoot, can kind of run, can kind of play defense. Like, he's not the worst card in the world. He has his own release, but it's on slow, which kind of kills him for a point guard. He doesn't do anything well. He's small and has a release on slow, so I'm going to put him into avoid. I'm going to put him below Fred VanVleet, above good old Allen, but yeah, that's kind of where he's going to be put. So next we got John Stockton, and Stockton's just really he's the steal man. He is the steal man. I don't know what it is, like anyone who's gotten all the steals, challenges done, they just use Stockton. 90 steal, got that 93 ball, has his own release, which is quick. His dribble style is not great. Look, Stockton's fine. Stockton's going to, if you don't need your point guard to shoot, he's going to be a really good point guard defender. He's going to get a lot of fluke stops, a lot of fluke steals for you. He's going to pass the ball well. Doesn't even come off dimer. Does come off unpluckable, though, as his one badge. But, like, if we're looking at Stockton, he's going somewhere good. I'm going to put him second to Ja in good. He's not going into very good, but I'm going to put him in good. And now this is the guy that I think is the most overrated player in the game, and it's Jrue Holiday. People keep telling me, oh, go and get Jrue Holiday. Because he can shoot, he's fast, has elite defense, and has a release on quick. His release is bad. His release is really bad. Like, he's got the Kobe escape, though. Like, he's fine. He's a good defender. If he had a higher dunk rating, like even a plus 10 dunk, I might consider putting him into the great tier. Because he's basically just DeJounte. He's DeJounte, but he's smaller and has a slightly better three ball. He's just another DeJounte. He's going into good tier. I'm going to have to put him in there because, well, that's really where he belongs. Then Kyrie Irving, 6'2", 6'4 wingspan. Could have swore Kyrie Irving has been 6'3 always in 2K. But he's an 83 ball, 80 speed. He's got some nice shooting badges, no defense whatsoever. Even though he actually has higher lateral quickness on this card than he had his diamond last year. Kyrie Irving release on normal is fine this year. Kyrie Irving dribbles, everything dribbling wise, Kyrie is good. Kyrie Leonard is actually pretty good. So offensively, I think Kyrie's a beast. For me, he's on that like Garland Dame level. If we're gonna rate him, I'll probably put him below Dame. But like I initially thought Kyrie was gonna be him when it came to his handles, but being able to create as a point guard is at the end of the world. And he doesn't have the greatest left-right in the world either. So next we got Mark Jackson. And Mark Jackson, former coach of the Warriors, he's got a duo with Rick Smits. He's got really good speed. His duo gives him a good three ball. His defense is solid, but his badges are really lacking. Man, his Austin Rivers jumper is bad. Like, I really struggled anytime he's been on the floor for me. I'm going to put him into a void, and I'm going to put him in the second last of a void. I hate him. I hate him so much. And then this card is funny. This next card is funny that we see. It's Norm Nixon. So 2K mixed up his defense, and he has 82 interior defense with 35 perimeter defense. So, like, he's meant to be this, like, defensive guard, but he's got 35 perimeter defense. He's a non-dunker, non-shooter, and non-defender because 2K messed up. So, he is the worst point guard in this. He might be worse than every gold. Like, that 35 perimeter defense is ridiculous, lads. It is actually ridiculous. Rajon Rondo next. He's just a Stockton without a jump shot. He's going to be a really good defender. That 55 3 ball, he's not hitting. Even in this game, he's not hitting. I'm putting him top of usable. I think he's good for offline. He's a really good offline player, but I think if you're running Rose online, you gotta have guys around them to like make up for the fact he can't shoot. He can't shoot. And that is a big issue in this game. Like, I do think shooting's important. Then we got Ricky Green. So Ricky Green, 6 foot tall point guard. Isn't gonna dunk, but he's gonna play good defense. He's going to run to the basket pretty well, pretty fast. He's going to hit mid-range shots. Default small is horrible. Normal dribble style base. The issue with him and the reason why Ricky Green is going into a void is that he's Fred Jones. He's a 6 foot tall, non-dunking Fred Jones. And it's the reason he is, in fact, going only above the bomb Norm Nixon. He is weak. He is very weak. Here we got Russell Westbrook. He's got 10 hops, 18 golds. Like, Westbrook, 98 speed. 78 3 ball, but that's fine. You can agree with that. He doesn't even have Westbrook base. He has Santi Aldama base, which is pretty good. His Westbrook upper is fine. Michael Jordan dribble style is really good. He's got a great driving dunk. Really good defense. Gold leads. But Westbrook's going to S. Westbrook is going to S tier without question. Westbrook is going into S tier. Then we got Scott Skiles, and this is an interesting one because I actually kind of like this guy. He's got decent three ball, decent speed and acceleration. Not the greatest defense, but the issue is like he's just Chris Paul. He's got Matt Thomas lower, but like literally I've used him. He feels just like the release just feels the same as CP3's. It just feels the exact same. He's like worse CP3. So he's going into usable. I don't mind him that much. And then we've got 4 Currys in a row. We have got 4 Steph Curry cards in a row. So I'm going to explain all of them now. So from the lowest, you've got this card right here, this Amethyst, Really, really good shooter. A very weak defender. But he's going to be a really, like, an elite shooter. And that's kind of really it. With this Amethyst right here, you've got slightly better defense. You've got slightly better shooting. But again, he's going to be just god tier shooting. We've got like an unbelievable shooter. Then like all these are, I would say, god tier shooters. These are the best 3 shooters in the game. These 3 Currys are the 3 best, other than maybe Chris Mullin. Then you've got this Steph Curry. Then the big update is his defense, and his dunking goes to 90. He goes to 65, but he still lacks a few defensive badges. And this Steph Curry gets way better defense, gets a little more defensive badges, gets a better 3-ball, gets better speed. But for me, like the diamond and pink diamond Stephs, they're not that big a difference. I think there's a big gap between amethyst and diamond. And diamond and pink diamond is not that big a difference. But I'm going to actually put every single Steph Curry in grade tier. I'm going to put the pink diamond up in the S. I don't want to put 2 Steph Currys in the S tier, because there's 1 point guard I want to keep in S tier. But I'm going to keep all of these guys into grade tier. Like the rest of the Currys all belong there, including this Curry. But actually, in terms of ratings, this Curry is going... Curry and Jennings are so close. I'm going to put Curry above Jennings, but it's really close. This Steph Curry is going to go probably ahead of Lin behind Jennings. And this Steph Curry is going to go like ahead of Iverson behind Ja. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I really hate Iverson this game. Just you guys may or may not know that. Stevie Francis, really good release, really good speed, good 3-ball, great driving dunk, good defense. He's got that great size up. The difference is, like, he's just another D-Rose / Westbrook type player. It's preference which of the 3 of those guys you prefer. And I'm going to put Steph as the 4th best. You go Francis 5th best, Westbrook is 3rd, D-Rose 2nd, Mitchell 1st. Then Kerr. Kerr is a chick man. Kerr is an absolute chicken man. He doesn't do anything other than shoot, but I mean, Steve Kerr's release has been really bad in previous years because they gave him set shot 4, but Steve Kerr is a chicken man. He's still just about going into usable. Like, better than Scott. Not as good as BJ Armstrong. No, BJ Armstrong needs to go top of this tier. Screw up, BJ Armstrong's going up a tier. He's like here, but he can shoot the lights out. He can really shoot the lights out. Then Steve Nash, a card that I've never used in it, but I've seen people use him. He's fine. He's fast. He's not going to shoot. He's actually a good defender. He's tall enough. So he's not going to drive the basket. He's not going to dunk. He can shoot. He is a solid point guard. If you're a big Steve Nash fan, you've got a good card on your hands. He is perfectly fine to use. He is slightly worse than Allen Iverson. He is the worst player in grade tier. He's fine. He is completely fine. I just don't think he offers, like, you're looking, he does come with the badges, but just the way he moves and stuff, I don't think he offers as much as a Steph. You know, I'm going to do this. There. I don't think he offers as much as Ja and the way this game's played. And I'm going to put Steph as the lowest in this tier. Then we have got Tim Hardaway. And Tim Hardaway is an interesting one. So Tim Hardaway, 96 speed, 96 acceleration, 86 3-ball. He has got 95 perimeter defense, 95 lateral, 97 steal. Like, his stats are ridiculous. Problem is that his release is kind of slow. His dribbling is not the greatest. And he's a 6-foot tall point guard. So I'm going to have to put him, like, down there with Nash. As far as pink diamonds go, he's probably the worst of the pink diamonds. Maybe I'm actually going to put him lower than Steph. Screw it. He's not great. I've seen footage of him. He's not up to much in this game. And then last up is Trae Young. And Trae Young is a nice player. The 87 overall. So he comes with the Trae fade. He comes with the Trae escape. He's got that 83 3-ball. He scores really, really effectively and really efficiently. He just might be the worst defensive guard in this entire game. Like, he's offensively, he's great. He would be great there. Defensively, he would be in a void. So I think overall, he's better than Garland. We're going to put him here. Man, I have hoed BJ Armstrong. BJ Armstrong's probably like here. What the hell I had him completely screwed down there and usable. He's fine. But yeah, so these are the tiers, lads. Bottom tier, the worst player, we have Norm Nixon. We can go all the way up to a De'Aaron Fox, who I'm actually going to move up because De'Aaron Fox is a lot better than every other player in this tier. So I'm going to move De'Aaron Fox up to usable. but the lowest in usable. Then we got De'Aaron Fox to Rondo. Rondo's really good. The only issue is that he can't shoot at all, so he can be a liability. Then we've got a tier that starts off with Mike Bibby, who's not great. Drew Holiday's a good defender, so is DeJounte Murray. Then we got a bunch of like glass cannons, followed by Stockton, who's just a way better version of Rondo, and Ja, who's a slight downgrade of his other card. We've got some undersized token or trophy case rewards. We got a token reward Steph. We've also got Ja, who I still think is an absolute freaking beast. Jeremy Lin, who's like a watered down version of the 3 trophy case cards in S tier. Brandon Jennings, who's really good. And Steph Curry. Man, keeping Brandon Jennings off S tier was tough. We got Francis, great dunker, great shooter. We have the best shooter in the entire game is Steph Curry. Can just cook people with that Curry fade. And depending on who you are, you might have Curry as the number 1 point guard. We got Westbrook and Rose, who are essentially like regens of each other. Like they do the exact same thing. They both dunk, they both shoot the ball really well, they both play good defense. Literally preference. And we got Donovan Mitchell, who I think shoots the ball better than D-Rose and Westbrook. I think his size up is almost as good as D-Rose. It's better than Westbrook. I think his just ability to move is better than both. It is equally as good as both of them. He's got a better fadeaway than them. He's got a better player build. I feel like he plays better defense. I just think Mitchell is the best point guard in my team right now. So anyway, yeah, that is the video, lads. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.